Alina, good morning.
Frank, Jess, good morning. Well, the Secret Service will now undergo an independent review. The investigation will include just how the gunman, armed with an AR-style rifle, was able to get so close to former President Donald Trump and fire 8 rounds. Now, an Associated Press analysis of more than a dozen videos and photos taken at the Trump rally, as well as satellite imagery of the site, will be thoroughly looked at. Additionally, Secret Service protocol and the timeline of when the shooter was spotted to when he was actually neutralized. This shows the proximity of the shooter to the stage and to the podium, approximately 150 meters. The shooter was perched up on the rooftop of the American Glass Research Building, which was technically outside the jurisdiction of the Secret Service and actually fell into the jurisdiction of local law enforcement. The investigation will now determine the size of the perimeter, who determined the size of the perimeter, and was the area swept and secured properly before the event. A former Secret Service agent telling KTLA this morning it's hard to believe the sniper was not spotted earlier.
I find it impossible to believe that a Secret Service agent, a supervisor, no one did not notice that site needed to, that area needed to be covered. So I know it's still preliminarily in the investigation. I don't want to say whether it was covered by an officer or an agent, or it should have been and that person wasn't there. But absolutely, it should have been covered and would have been covered in any other circumstance.
President Biden is now calling for an independent review of national security at the rally. The director of the Secret Service, Kimberly Sheetal, responding by saying the Secret Service is working with all involved federal, state, and local agencies to understand what happened, how it happened, and how we can prevent an incident like this from ever taking place again. We understand the importance of the independent review announced by President Biden yesterday and will participate fully. We will also work with the appropriate congressional committees on any oversight action. Texas Senator Ted Cruz is the one now calling for the resignation of Sheetal. Rally goers telling reporters over the weekend they saw the gunman moving from roof to roof moments before the assassination attempt. Witnesses also saying they saw a person fitting the description of the alleged shooter carrying a rifle outside the rally before the shooting.
You know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police are like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling.
And joining several lawmakers, House Speaker Mike Johnson is now calling for a full testimony from the Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security, and also the FBI. Additionally, he told CNN over the weekend this is an opportunity for us to overhaul the entire security, also to look at the rhetoric in this country and how that is fueling violence in the future. We'll send it back to you.
Alina, thank you for that. Elected officials from both sides of the aisle are voicing concerns this morning over the rally shooting.
President Biden addressed the nation last night from the Oval Office to speak out against political violence in our country. KTLA's Erin Myers explains. Good morning.
Good morning to you both. After Saturday's assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump in Pennsylvania, politicians across the nation have been condemning the violence, including President Biden, who spoke from the Oval Office last night.
Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. Politics must never be a literal battlefield, or God forbid, a killing field. I believe politics ought to be an arena for peaceful debate, to pursue justice, to make decisions guided by the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution.
This is video from Saturday's rally, which shows the chaos that afternoon. In his address to the nation, the president talked about the need to lower the temperature in politics, saying while we may disagree, we are not enemies. The president is promising an extensive and swift investigation. After former President Trump was hurt, 2 others were critically injured, and 1 man was killed at the rally.
An American citizen killed while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America.
Others have spoken out as well. Governor Gavin Newsom, Vice President Kamala Harris, Representative Adam Schiff, and Mayor Karen Bass all had similar messages online saying political violence has no place in our nation. They also sent well wishes to former President Trump on his recovery. Representative Adam Schiff posted this. Horrified by the attempted assassination attempt, there is no place for political violence in our democracy, absolutely none. Grateful for the swift response by law enforcement and Secret Service, wishing President Trump a swift recovery, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken had this to say over the weekend. I am shocked and saddened by the shooting at former President Trump's rally and grateful that he is safe. As POTUS said, there is no place for political violence in America, and we must all condemn it. There have been claims on both sides of the aisle that political rhetoric has gone too far. House Speaker Mike Johnson spoke to the Today Show, making an appeal for civility, saying it is time to turn the temperature down in this country. And Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas told CNN the assassination attempt was a failure of security, saying the government would get answers for the American people. The governor of Pennsylvania is also calling for a peaceful political process moving forward.
This is a moment where all leaders have a responsibility to speak and act with moral clarity, where all leaders need to take down the temperature and rise above the hateful rhetoric that exists.
And a short time ago, former President Trump posted on Truth Social saying he believes it is imperative that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. receive Secret Service protection immediately, given the history of the Kennedy family, saying it is the right thing to do. In the newsroom, I'm Erin Myers. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yes.
All right, we're talking fashion. We're going to get into so much here. Next guest name is synonymous with the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai franchises. It's Sensei John Kreese, a.k.a. Martin Kove. Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to see you. Just when you saw this shirt, everybody's complimenting.
Yeah. Yes.
Where'd you buy it?
You know, I bought it at the airport.
Right? Who knew?
I mean,
Yeah.
the airport. When was the last time any of us shopped at the airport?
Right. But when you see it,
Rarely.
you knew.